Welcome to Soft Talk. Let's talk about the goings on in Nepal after this uprising that led to severe burning of vital organs of the Nepali state. By the way, if you have not subscribed to this channel, I request you to subscribe to it, comment on our presentation, and press that like button if it touches your hearts and minds. We have been trying for quite some time to promote citizen journalism, and every support, every like, every comment, every subscription counts. Please keep that in mind and act accordingly. So, back to the show. After a severe burning of vital organs of the state under the hazy gaze of a myopic, reactive, and political leadership, this leadership had become synonymous with scams, incidents of looting, and gory deaths of scores of youths, the brutal killing of scores of youths during an urban uprising against chronic nepotism, corruption, and bad governance. All these factors toppled a government with a comfortable majority in the parliament. After this toppling, where are we heading as a nation? We'll try to seek answer to this question in today's presentation. Let me share with you some of those pictures, those tragic pictures from the goings on, from the uprising that just passed us by as we looked on mostly as a state and as citizens. In the wake of utter chaos and anarchy, a caretaker government has taken shape. I just showed you the picture of the Prime Minister, the former Chief Justice, uh, taking the oath of office and secrecy from the President. A caretaker government has taken shape under a former Chief Justice in close coordination with the National Army and under the stewardship of the head of the state. Now questions arise as to who set the country in flames. This country was on the brink already, but who set the country on fire and for what end? This question becomes quite important as we move ahead, albeit sluggishly. The question remains unanswered at this point, but our competent defense security and intel authorities might find out in the due course of time with pictures and videos posted online offering vital clues along with intelligence inputs. This much we can expect from a very competent set of defense security authorities of this country. With the damage already done, there's a raging debate on whether timely mobilization of state security apparatuses. This mobilization through a quick declaration of emergency from the president's office, of course. This declaration of emergency and a quick mobilization of state security forces could have saved lives as well as properties. There is a raging debate on this topic. Such a debate can continue, of course, till the cows come home in a laid back nation under a political leadership known more for skills to remain in power somehow than for a long term vision for the nation and a short term sense of urgency. A functioning state, any functioning state worth its name, remains ever awake. The state never sleeps. The state security apparatuses and other organs of the state never sleep, even during disasters. Whatever calamity might visit a nation, but those apparatuses never sleep. They remain ever awake. But Surya Ast Nepal must has become the norm rather than the exception in this home of the free and the land of the brave. Life's been one long party for Nepal's ruling elites after their ascension to power following regime changes in the 1990s and the 2000s. So, waiting till the sundown for the party to begin is rather regressive, isn't it? Allegorically, that's a Nepali folk tale in which seven villages go underwater even as boatmen engage in a vigorous discussion on how to deal with pouring rains and floods. This tale has become a reality once again, even under a political leadership that seemed to know everything, that seemed to know anything, that seemed to know about anything under the sun and beyond. In the end, it appears that the leadership did not know how to govern. That was the irony of this regime. Whatever remained of the parliament, the state organ supposed to represent the will of the sovereign people, is now gone. These are the pictures that I took during and in the immediate aftermath of the massive uprising. Whatever remained of the parliament is now gone, though the Speaker of the House of Representatives and the Chair of the National Assembly. The House of Representatives and the National Assembly are the two chambers of Nepal's bicameral parliament. These, the Speaker of the House of Representatives and the Chair of the National Assembly, will remain in office along with the head of the state, who happens to be the enforcer and the protector of our dear Constitution and a part of the Parliament. With the judiciary barely functioning and a premature demise of a popularly elected Parliament, granted that these organs had largely failed to act as bulwarks against a government that was clearly showing tyrannical tendencies. With these organs in limbo, are we in a more inviable position than we were yesterday or the day before? Or have we just landed into the fire from the frying pan? Even when the parliament was functioning, it was doing the will of the tyrannical executive at the expense of the nation and her peoples, with lawmakers associated with different political parties submitting to party whips rather than their respective conscience, as if these people were some beasts of burden acting on the crack of a whip. Even before blazes consumed most of its physical infra, political intervention, including through controversial appointments, had done extensive damage to the judiciary, the state organ tasked with reining in an executive with a tendency to ride roughshod over civil liberties through the strength of a majority in the parliament. As a barely functioning state struggles to rise from the ashes of death and devastation, what awaits the laity? An ordinance Raj, a rule by ordinances that will further curtail national sovereignty or something better? This question looms in the air. Keep watching. Thank you for listening. Thank you for watching.